What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. And today I've got a story time that was sent in to me about this kid who witnessed a spoiled kid biting his dad at a soccer game. Not really something you expect to see every day. Let's get into it. But before we do, press the like button or no joke, no scam. You're going to get bitten by an angry kid at a soccer game, and let's go.
Nice rack and her ass Brazilian. Just turned 21, but my bank's a million.
Alright, so like I said, this takes place during a soccer game, and the spoiled kid in particular happened to be on the subscribers team, so it was somebody that he had spent some time with. He knew this kid had been pretty entitled before, basically thought that he ran the show. And in this particular game, the spoiled kid was just being an absolute ball hog, right? He wouldn't pass it to anyone. He was just taking shots that were never going to get into the net. Overall, just kind of being really annoying and a bad teammate. And to top it all off, the reason this really sucked is it was the coach's son, right? So he kind of thought he could do whatever he wanted. But in this particular game, he was being such a bad ball hog and taking such horrible shots that even the coach, his dad, told him to you have to come out, you have to sub out. You're just going to make us lose the game if you keep playing like this. And, obviously when your coach tells you to come out, usually in a game, you're like, all right, bet, you sub out really quick, somebody takes your place, that's the end of it. But because it's his dad and he's a very spoiled individual, he basically tells the coach to go eat a giant bag of burritos full of excrement, just kind of tells him no, I'm not coming off the field. And so at that point, his dad's like, you need to get off the field. Come on, I'm subbing you out. And he just keeps saying no. And the game's kind of going on, but they're arguing back and forth while he's running around the soccer field and the dad's running up and down the sideline. And on that point, dude, he's like, all right, well, then I'm going to come get you and grab you and pull you off that field if you're not going to listen to me, right? And so he goes out there to, grab his son and pull him off the field and sub him out because, no, I'm not coming out isn't the answer to the question that he was asking, right? He's trying to sub you out, dude. You're going to go back in eventually. You just got to switch it up for a second. But anyways, he runs out onto the field to grab his son for a second, and his son just starts running around, dude. And it's like something out of an old silent film. You know, the comedies were that's not a silent film, but that vibe, because it's just him running around after this kid being like, get back here, and him being like, no, not unless you're gonna let me play. Oh no, dad, I'm not gonna let you grab me. You're not taking me anywhere unless you refuse to sub me out. And just running around the field for a good 2 minutes or so. And finally they get over to the sideline, right? And the dad kind of walks up to his son and he's like, what are you doing? Are you trying to embarrass me? Why are you running around the field acting like I'm trying to hunt you down? What are you doing? And his son is just like, I wanted to keep playing and you ruined it. I feel like I've been having a really good game and, you just never believe in me and you're always taking away my chances to improve as a player. And the dad is like, what are you talking about, man? You literally have missed 15 shots and none of them have been close. You're not passing the ball. You're just not playing as lights out as you think. And clearly we got to talk about it because there's a miscommunication if that's the vibe you're getting from the field, right? And then he goes on to explain to his son too that I understand you're probably upset that I'm pulling you off the field, but you're not passing to your teammates. You're missing every shot. What am I supposed to do as the coach? Am I supposed to just let you keep ruining the game for all your teammates because you're my son? And the kid's like, yeah, basically, if I feel like running around and not passing it, then I feel like as my dad, that's your job. And the dad's like, well, I'm the coach. I can't really do that. I have to make sure that the game is the game. And we try to win. And at that point, his son's like, well, subbing me out going to help us win? And he says, maybe in this instance. And then he's like, are you calling me bad? Are you calling me bad at the game? You're my dad. My dad's supposed to believe that I'm the best player out there. If you don't believe in me, then you're a bad dad. And he just kind of starts tearing into his dad about how he's a garbage father and all that stuff. And listen, man, I understand you and your dad might have beef, but if he's coaching your soccer team and cognizant of the feelings of the other players, then he's probably not that bad, right? If he's volunteering all his spare time to coach your soccer team, he has to care about you somewhat. And, he's talking about how his dad thinks he's bad at soccer and never believes at him. And he's like, I never said you were bad at soccer. I just think maybe you need to work on passing the balls and maybe get into a situation or a club where you can work on your scoring. Basically trying his nicest to be like, okay, maybe you do suck, but I don't want to say you suck because you are my son and I believe in you. But yeah, if you never pass the ball and you miss every shot, I would consider that sucking. And I'm not a soccer expert, okay? You put me out there on the pitch and trust me, it would be the most ugly thing you've ever seen in your entire life, dude. I'd be like an ostrich with a broken leg out there. But that's not the point. I'm not the one out here saying that they're the next Ronaldo, all right? So, well, I guess his dad says that, and that makes him feel embarrassed. And instead of just, like, refusing to play, going over to his mom and, like, I don't know, talking to her about something, he decides to make his dad pay. So he just kind of grabs his dad's hand, pulls his mouth up to his mouth, and then bites down onto his dad's finger. And his dad screams and pulls his hand away, and he stands up. He was kind of kneeling down to talk to him. And when he stands up, the kid latches this time into his arm, as he's standing up. And the kid latches onto his arm so hard with his teeth that when he stands up, the kid is just kind of dangling there, like a fish on the end of a fish hook, dude. He has literally, hark, sunk them pearly whites into his dad's arm. And listen, all of this because he told you to pass the ball more. I'm not saying you're a bad teammate, but if you're gonna literally take a chunk out of somebody because they tell you to pass, you might be a bad teammate. Imagine this in the NBA. They're like, hey, you need to pass more. He just eats the coach. What? All right, guys, I'm gonna interrupt the video for just 1 second. If you take a look at your screen now, you'll see a gift card code. For those of you that don't know, I give one of these away in every video, and I would really appreciate you subscribing and turning on notifications because I give away free money. Press the like button or your mom's a hoe, and let's get back to it. And obviously, whenever you see an angry kid dangling off his dad like a fish on a hook, you're kind of just looking at it. Everyone's just sitting there gasping, as you would, dude. Imagine, I got myself a big one. He pulls his hand above the water. It's just an angry kid, you should have not taken me out of the game. And all of this, and you suck. It'd be one thing if he's having the game of his life. It's never okay to bite your dad, by the way. Let me make that clear. But it'd be a little bit more understandable, maybe. Homie scored 19 goals. They were taking him out because of a mercy rule. No, I show no mercy, no weakness to my enemy, but regardless, everyone finally starts to yell and be like, let go, and he lets go, but instead of standing there, he runs back onto the field and starts kicking the ball. And, that's too many men on the field. It's a whole penalty, right? But he doesn't care. He just starts taking it down to the goal, kicks it. It goes wide over the net. Somebody's got to go get it, but he just keeps running around. His dad's chasing him. He's just not surrendering at all. And at this point, like I said, he had kind of interrupted the game. He had just ran back out there and kicked the ball. So, the ref is blowing the whistle, trying to give him penalties, trying to get him to stop, but he just doesn't care. Because if he stops running, his dad's going to catch him, and he just bit his dad in front of everybody. So, he's trying to do the take-A, doing the race. And he's pretty fast. You got to give him some credit, dude. He's Lightning McQueening it out there, running around, and the entire time that the dad is chasing his kid around the field, being like, get back here, this is embarrassing, please stop, he keeps taunting his dad for being slow, which just adds insult to injury, bro. On top of this kid biting you in front of everybody, then on top of it, he's like, oh, and by the way, you're really slow. And obviously, your dad's gonna be slow. He's an old man, dude. He's out here coaching soccer, volunteering his time. You're just sprinting around his legs being like, look who's old and stupid. Look who's old and stupid. And finally, the dad did something other than just trying to talk to his son and be like, now son, why would you bite me? He's like, I'm going to take away your Xbox if you keep doing this. And the kid gets this look of fear in his eyes and just starts to sprint to the parking lot. And the coach kind of runs off after him. And it's literally something out of a silent film, dude. Everybody's just kind of standing there because the situation has left. They're running over to the parking lot. And the rest of the field is just kind of standing there super confused, not knowing what to do. Do they play? Do they not play? Is the ref going to go intervene? What is going on? And the ref at that point is I'm just calling the game. This has gotten too out of control. This is too much going on. Your coach is gone, the player ruined the game. We're just going to call it. So he calls the game early. They did lose because homie was out there just taking shots from halfway across the field, just whiffing. And so they kind of start to pack up their stuff and leave. And as they're leaving, they get out in the parking lot. And in the parking lot is his coach's car. And they see his dad and his son talking on the tailgate of the truck, right? And so as the parents are driving by, they kind of roll down the window. And they're arguing back and forth. And the only thing they hear is the coach say something along the lines of fine, you can have your Xbox when we're home, but only for 2 hours. Which, kind of does explain the behavior. It doesn't make it okay. But if he just like ruined an entire soccer game to the point where it had to be canceled, bit you in front of everybody so hard that you stood up and he was literally dangling off your arm, I feel like taking away his Xbox for a week is the least you could do. Even letting him just get right back to Fortnite probably isn't the best idea. Like, I don't know, man. I would have never started biting my dad in front of everybody because I know that the consequences would have been bad. But like, if the consequence is that I only get to play Fortnite for 2 hours when I get home, kids are probably going to be way more misbehaved. On top of that, even after this, he didn't last as coach much longer, only because kids wouldn't really listen to him anymore. Like, nobody really took him seriously, which, listen, man, after you get punked by like youth soccer players and they bite you, it's probably hard to get them to listen to you again. I've never been there before, but I'm going to assume that's a difficult task. Regardless, moral of the story, don't bite your dad, you know? I think most of you guys already knew that. But if you enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate you taking a second to press the like button. Let me know in the comments section down below what you thought of the video, and of course, subscribe if you're new and turn on those notifications. If you really want to help me out, I'll put a link to the intro song down below, along with a link to my podcast, the Scuffed Cast. And if you really want to help me out, then you can use code SCRUBBY at the G Fuel checkout. You get a discount on G Fuel. It helps me out. Everyone's a winner. And the two things that I've got to plug last, first things first, I did go ahead and put some of my story times up on Spotify, so that link's going to be in the description. Go check it out. And we've got the Karen Christmas sweater, which may be the coolest merch to ever exist in the history of the planet, and that can be yours by visiting the link in the top of the description, so be sure to go do that. And yeah, on that note, guys, that's going to do it. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.